It's a very humid and rainy kind of day. Rain's coming. Heading up to a place called Kiel, Wisconsin, which is, Google says an hour and 20 away, but I've given myself 2 hours to do a wedding. It's an outdoor ceremony plus indoor reception until 11. It is 11:55. I'm giving myself plenty of time to get up there. My goal was 2, but just in case I get lost or traffic or whatever, I want a little bit of time. So just left the house. I'm going to turn on some cool freestyle and listen to it all the way up. Wake up and set this thing up. This is why we allow extra time. Traffic. Alright, now I'm on country roads for a while, and I don't know how long because my cool Chinese GPS just said, dude, you're not in civilization anymore. I don't know where the hell you are. So I've got nothing there. Hey, good news. I just woke up and said, oh, okay, I get it. Middle of nowhere, yep. We're there, and we did it in about an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, here's the barn. I set up right inside of there, so that's an easy load in. However, going up this hill is going to be a drag for the ceremony. I'll make it happen. All right, all set in the corner here. Easy load in, didn't even have to pull the cart out, but I'll need the cart for that hill there. Got to move the canopy too, so. But super early. I'm well over an hour early doing this. Alright. Try this stuff up the hill. Only lost a few things on this off-road terrain that I gotta get. Alright, everything's up and running as it should. Wireless microphone works, tested it. Music works fine. Audio's good. Now it's just time to wait. Whenever I do these ceremony setups, I always request coverage. Pop-up tent is fine, but yeah, I mean, look at the clouds. Anything could happen today. And I know they're trying to be optimistic, and, I want everything to go the way they want it to go, but not at the cost of my equipment. And, the coverage is good, too, for sun. I mean, things can overheat. So I'm set up there an hour early, and that's going to be fine because of the canopy. Of course, the canopy does not protect you from high winds, but I don't foresee that as a problem. Did I just jinx myself?
Conversations that began with when we're married, continued with I will, and you will, and we will.
No matter what you're telling me, don't talk into the mic.
Someday, somehow, and.
All right, the ceremony system is loaded up the truck. Now it's just time to do cocktail and dinner, which is going to be hairband music, as you might be able to hear over my voice, for the next couple hours. There are no shots of cocktail or dinner because I was stepping up quite a bit. Actually, during cocktail, I was just talking to family. And what a nice group on both sides. Everyone was very kind, very welcoming, and wanted to have conversations, so that was occupying most of my cocktail time. During dinner, I was asked to release tables, which is something I normally don't do. The coordinator approached me and said, well, can you release tables? So, well, I guess. I kind of reluctantly agreed. What I had to do was not only keep an eye on the buffet line, but I also had to keep an eye on people backed up at the head table because what they wanted me to do was release tables, but before they went into the line, go to the head table, get a picture with the couple, then get in the line. So that took all of my time during dinner. By the time I was done with that, it was time for speeches. And the parents of the bride both gave a speech, as well as the best man and maid of honor. And then it was just time for dancing. So I was pretty busy. Stepped up a little bit at the ceremony too with some announcements, which is why I feel like it's important to have your own microphone, even on a little battery powered ceremony system. There's always an announcement that he'd made, and it really helped them out logistically to get everybody herded up for pictures and get people into the barn for cocktail hour. The crowd wasn't huge. There weren't a lot of people in attendance anyway, and his side of the family was pretty religious, so I think they were going home early for church in the morning. But you ended up with probably about 25, 30 people for the majority of the night. But they were the right 25, 30 people because the dance floor looked like this pretty much all night long. By the time it got dark outside and you can actually see the lighting in the room, it started raining pretty steadily. So it brought people back inside. They were outside doing things, but they came back inside during the rain. Kind of put a damper on things. It was very humid out. Everyone was dripping wet. Not only from the rain, but just from the humidity in the air. I don't know how hot it was. Probably somewhere in the 70s, but it felt super hot. just because of that high humidity we get here in Wisconsin. But it was fun. I told the bride, I said, look, I don't care how many hundreds of people you invite to your party. You get the right 20 people in a room, you've got a party. And she certainly did. She was exhausted. She wanted to wrap it up at 10 o'clock. We were supposed to go to 11. The crowd was still going strong, what she had left. But she was exhausted, and she was ready to just go ahead and throw in the towel. And I totally get that. I enjoyed this wedding. I had fun. And it had been a while since I'd done anything like this. So I was a little nervous about how I would feel physically at the end of the night. I actually felt pretty good, despite 2 setups and all that. My setups right now, they're so streamlined. Things are so lightweight. It doesn't take much, and they're effective. The 30 amps were more than enough for that room. A lot of people say you can't use them for events like this. You absolutely can. My lighting worked great as soon as the sun went down, despite the walls being dark. Got a great wash on the audience. The ceremony system, well, that speaks for itself. That thing works really well. And like I said, put a microphone on that ceremony system for you. A corded mic, because you never know when you have to make an announcement. Some people don't do this. They only provide microphones for up front for the bride and groom and the officiant. I give them a mic. I have a mic, because they always need some kind of announcement. This time, it was to herd pictures and to get people into the barn. Now, despite the officiant not speaking very loud into the microphone, I got a lot of unsolicited compliments for the ceremony sound and for reception sound. I may have mentioned that I was pretty nervous about how I was going to feel after this event, because it'd been a while, but I felt pretty good. Even after I got home, after a long drive and a detour, I felt pretty good. Today, I'm feeling it. But the good news is, I had new Dr. Schultz in my shoes. I put them in Thursday night. But my arm is killing me. Oh my gosh, I've had problems with this arm. My good arm, my only arm. I got a real tight muscle in there from overuse. A lot of manual labor, working on cars, working on houses, all that kind of stuff, let alone loading and unloading equipment. I'm going to go see a sports therapist hopefully very soon. A friend of mine does this. Hopefully he can help me out with these muscles that are just in knots. Other than that, though, yeah, great gig. Enjoyed it, had fun. And this was a pickup gig from my friend Ben. Thank you, Ben, for the opportunity. It worked out great. And if I can ever be of assistance again, please let me know. That's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Practice and enjoy.